Hi, my name is Drew, and I'm a senior developer with Hero Technical Solutions. Here's our multi-part video series going over Zoho Analytics 101. So first, this these videos are going to be going over the leads records and making some reports and showing you some basic fundamentals of Zoho Analytics based on the leads data. Right now, we just have our sample leads in here, but of course, you can do this with any CRM data. So first thing, we have to make it to analytics. So I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to go to analytics.zoho.com. And I'm going to open this up. And if you haven't already, there'll be some steps for you to go through to create your Zoho Analytics. So if you're on Zoho 1, your Zoho Analytics and CRM will automatically sync up and this workspace will get created. But if you're not, here's the process you would go through. You would click import your data, which is going to create a brand new workspace, and it's going to start with the data that you bring in. So we have a bunch of different options here, but what we want to do is bring in our CRM data. So we can just search CRM and we have all these options. We're going to go with Zoho CRM. And there's some text along the side here. We're going to click next. And it's going to have an authentication pop up. We don't have that again because we're already connected up. But if there are, just follow those steps. And now we can see, as you can see, we're on a demo account. We have our setup here. So some things to note when you're going through the setup, whatever things you're going to want to report on, you're going to want to bring in. So if we've got our leads module, contacts, accounts, things already set up to be brought in. And then on this side, you can see we're already looking at our leads here, but if we were to go to contacts, our field list would change. So we also need to make sure that anything we want to report on is brought in. And I also want to note that adding more fields doesn't take up any more space. Analytics counts usage by rows and records, not by fields. So you can bring in as many of these as you would want. So we can just click this and do them all, or unclick and only bring in the default fields. And then underneath, once we've sorted out all of our modules, we can choose how often. Depending on your subscription, this will change. So we usually try to go to hourly and as quick as possible to keep this data as updated as possible. And then you would click create. And when you do that, then it'll start fetching that data and bring it into the system for you. So instead of us waiting, I'm going to go back to our workspace that it's already set up on for us. And here we can see now, and if we take a look at our side here, if we go over to data sources, we can see our Zoho CRM data source is in there and data sync successful, which is fantastic. If we ever want to make any changes, which you probably will as you're building out your CRM, you have to make sure you go into your edit changes here, and it's going to pop up that exact same window once it loads for us. And then we can, again, make our changes here. So if I wanted to make a change, we have our fields. And again, we want to make sure we set up this how often. It wasn't set up when it was brought in for us. And then we're going to click save. Take a second. And then it's going to, next time it syncs every 1 hour, it'll bring that data in. However, we also have the synchronizations done. You can do up to 5 in your sync period. So I'm just going to click sync now. And we've got our sync in progress. And that brings us to the end of our first video. Thanks.